Nix can pick up right where he left off?
I think he can. I think they would like him to take another step because picking up where he left off, although they had a terrific season from a team standpoint, and he had a decent season more than decent season statistically, but a lot of his heroics came in the latter parts of the game, the fourth quarter. We know about all that. But the way he played in that division round against Josh Allen and those Bills, if he can be that moving forward with a little bit better completion percentage, this team will be set up for a great deal of success. His mobility, we see him moving right now. A large part of who he is being mobile, getting outside the pocket, utilizing his legs. So we'll see how healthy he is. He has to be healthy in order for this team to make noise.
I got a theory that Bo Nix needs better PR around him. Bo Nix, he's in the AFC Championship game. He breaks his ankle.
Okay. I see where you're going now.
I'm not going to be Bo Nix.
I know you're not. We know this.
I'm the Caleb guy, and I already kind of have a thing with Justin Herbert in his division.
Yeah.
So, I'm not available, Bo, but this corner of the take universe is available because Jaden Daniels, Offensive Rookie of the Year, one of the most exciting players in football, NFC Championship game in Bo's draft class. Drake May, runner-up for the MVP in the Super Bowl in Bo's draft class. Caleb Williams, superstar, highlights, cover of Madden, face of the NFL. Micah Parsons says maybe the best player in the NFL in his draft class. Show me the stats, please, on this draft class. Bo Nix has more wins than all of them, more touchdowns than all of them, and more yards than all of them. Now, I know Sean Payton loves him, and his teammates seem to love him, and he seems to be a pretty fiery guy, so maybe at some point he will start, amplifying, his own accomplishments. But I would look at that and say, Bo Nix is just being way underserved in the marketplace of what this guy can actually be.
I've been saying this since literally Bo Nix was drafted. I've literally been saying this since Bo Nix was drafted. I have a whole take that I made last season all about the comparisons between Caleb and Bo Nix, and why we talk so much about one versus the other. Why how we're having this conversation? We had a whole meta conversation about it. I actually want to go back and watch it. I don't remember what its title. I have to really kind of dig around. And it's just so obvious and so clear to me. It's pretty crazy. Before we really jump into this, and you all know that I'm excited to jump into this. Denver Broncos fans, please do not forget to subscribe and watch the full length of the video. When you guys do that, views go through the roof. Subscribers go through the roof. And it's not about chasing views, it's not about chasing subscribers, it's about being able to create Denver Broncos content that people genuinely want to watch and discuss. So, we can keep having the most unbiased, grounded, honest conversations about the Broncos. It makes such a huge difference to watch the full length of the video, and I would really appreciate it. Yeah. The thing that blows me away, right? Caleb gets the cover of Madden, and I don't even care about any of that type of stuff. So, we're just using that as a placeholder of how things are discussed. But, Caleb gets all this hype energy. His ST odds were completely average. But it was like his individual game moments. Which is exactly what Bo Nix has as well. With the game-winning drives, these insane plays, these insane throws, these insane moments. And on top of that, he also has that in the playoffs. Against Josh Allen. The year that everyone said this is the year for the Buffalo Bills. The Broncos take down the Bills. With Bo Nix leading the charge. And he gets no hype for it. If we're really being honest with ourselves, he doesn't get any real hype for it. But Caleb Williams gets all the hype for beating the what was it? The 9-win team, the 9-win Green Bay Packers. Really? Really? The Broncos and Bo Nix were the number 1 seed in the NFL, the number 1 seed. First round bye. And it's almost barely discussed. I still remember making that video. Alex, on this is the worst first-place team we've ever had in the NFL. And I was like, okay, great insight, Alex. Caleb, they win the division. And it was this as if they won the Super Bowl. It was as if they won the Super Bowl. And then you could be like, yeah, but it's like, you know, the Bears, they haven't won in so long. And all that. And it's like before Bo Nix was there, the Broncos hadn't made the playoffs in what was it, like 10 years? A decade? I mean, like that's got to count for something, right? It's got to mean something. I would think so. I think so. Winning the division with Justin Herbert, Trick Mahomes, right? Like, does that mean something? I would think so. I would think so. I mean, it's what I always find so funny. Like, take a game like against the Kansas City Chiefs when they won. Snorts, Bo Nix played great down the stretch, fourth quarter, you know, like big throws, third down, like just great moments. And then they won't see it as, oh, yeah, well, we win when it fits our narrative. And to be fair, I don't even really talk like this. When I'm making a comment like this, I'm talking about like how it's being discussed. Because I don't always see it as like this, I don't look at it as like this quarterback versus that quarterback. I'll have those conversations because, you know, it's a great, jumping off point to prove people wrong, but it's not like how I view things personally. But I'll still do it just because it's the way it works. But we'll have that game where Bo Nix plays great, beats the Chiefs, beats Patrick Mahomes, but then it's automatically will be like, yeah, but the Broncos are just like a better team. And the Chiefs, they're dealing with this and that, the O-line, the defense isn't as good. And it's just like so then like one, you would have to concede that the Broncos were a better team, a great team, which is something that you didn't want to do before. And two, you're then saying that Patrick Mahomes can only beat Bo Nix when he has a better team? What does that mean then? Lick. What conclusion can we reach then? Oh, I could beat you as long as I got a better team. It's like, okay, well, so then where's your value as a quarterback? I want to know where we land on that then. And you know, we can say that Jaden was more electric in his rookie year. If we're talking about like a spectrum, right? Like there was just more electricity there. We can say Drake May was more consistent. And then we got Caleb who was like, well, you know, his first year was a mess because and it's Bo Nix was lucky to be fortunate to go to Denver, which I totally agree with. But then you could be like, but what about 2025? Like he had a significantly better offensive coach in that moment. That's why Sean Payton's giving up play calling. Ben Johnson isn't giving up play calling. They had a devastating run game, a devastating O-line. And Ben Johnson was able to not only draw up incredibly creative plays, but layup after layup after layup. Bo Nix Caleb Williams absolutely made spectacular plays as well. He also missed a lot of plays as well. So I would absolutely say that Caleb Williams was given more gifts than Bo Nix. It's not even close in my mind. Not even close. 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 Again, that's why Sean Payton is giving up play calling. That's all you need to know right there. That's the answer right there. Boom. End of conversation. Oh, and yet we still have a ton of success. The Bears were filled with so much talent they had to move on from some talent. They had oversaturation. The Broncos were like, we need someone else. We need Jalen Waddle. I mean, and even remember, everyone just kept saying, oh, Bo Nix, he's so inaccurate. Remember the deep ball, he's so inaccurate. And I remember making the clip where Sean Payton came out and he said, Bo Nix's deep ball accuracy is the least of my worries. He's like, it's the least of my worries. And then Bo finishes the season with 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, deep ball. 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Caleb, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And then like suddenly nobody was talking about the deep ball. So, I don't get it. Not to mention, 5 drops. 5 drops. I mean, everyone loved the offensive weapons that the Chicago Bears had. They loved it. That's why they were saying that this team in 2024 was going to go to the Super Bowl. And Caleb was going to be the MVP. And we're like, well, the coaching was bad, fine. And the O-line, okay, fine. Ben Johnson comes in there and they fix that. And Caleb Williams throws for 27 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Then an offensive core that people do not think was spectacular with the Denver Broncos, which is why they had them not even making the playoffs. Playoffs? 25 touchdowns in 11 interceptions. A difference of 2 touchdowns. A. Completion percentage 63.4% to Caleb's 58.1%. Bo Nix, 3,931 yards, 3,942 yards. And a passer rating of 90.1 to what is it? I think it's 89 something 87.8. And then of course on the ground Caleb 388 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Bo Nix 356 yards, 5 touchdowns. So it is very fascinating to me that there's so much hype, so much energy behind everyone but Bo on this list. And this is what's so funny. Because you heard Danny be like, well, I can't really be the Bo guy because I'm already the Caleb guy. I already got Justin Herbert in your division. And it's like, so that means you can't believe in Bo Nix. I said this back either 2023 or 2024. Cause like I think it was probably 2023 cause Nick was so positive about Dallas Cowboys and so anti-Philly. And I was like, to me, this is so much of like I'm pumping up the Cowboys and therefore I'm going to continue to knock the Eagles. And it was one and the same. And I was just like, I refuse to operate that way personally. I believe in Justin Herbert and the Chargers tremendously. I am so excited to see what the Las Vegas Raiders and Fernando Mendoza have in store. And you better believe that I obviously think Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos will be elite. I'm a massive believer in Jayden Daniels. I was screaming that Drake May should be the MVP last Raiders is like, you can have takes that would theoretically upset other fan bases. Cause it is I get it. It becomes an OCC. Occupational hazard. I especially talk about this division because I do believe in the Chargers and I do believe in the Broncos and I talked about that all last season and it's like, yeah. Every time I make a pro Chargers video, the Broncos fans are like, what the heck? I mean, and sometimes I'll have people be like, why do I thought you were a Broncos fan? I'm unsubscribing. And it's like, I'm not a Broncos fan. Just because I believe in the Broncos. I think they're great. I think they're awesome. I think they'll be a top team. I was right. They got to the AFC Championship game. So, it's like I'm just here to deliver accuracy, not fandom. And have interesting conversations along the way. But like I thought that was really funny, too, when Danny said that out loud. And that's why we always get some of these very interesting takes out there. Cause I do think people are hyper-aware. Again, I was hyper-aware, especially in 2024. I thought Jayden was going to be awesome. Again, spoiler, I was correct. And I thought the Eagles were going to be awesome. Again, spoiler, I was correct. I thought the Cowboys and the Giants weren't going to be as great. Spoiler, I was correct. And every time I talked up the Commanders and Jayden Daniels, woo, the Eagles fans were not too happy. And every other time I talked about how great the Eagles are and Jalen Hurts and all of that, woo, the Commanders fans weren't so happy. And then when I said you don't want to ace each other in the NFC Championship, you don't want to face each other too early in the playoffs, especially as I said that for the Commanders, and I said it's good that you're all on like the separate end of like the little, bracket, essentially. That way you're not facing each other until the NFC Championship game. And it was like, woo, Commanders weren't happy with that. And then they got rocked and I was like, I know I've been the Jaden guy. I've been the Commanders guy. But like, again, you got to keep it real here. And so I feel that and I get navigating that and it's like is that a part of then what continues to bring down but because I talked about this as well that I think a lot of it is also just the Chiefs. The Chiefs, Mahomes and it's just like if you got that fan base at your back, right? That army that's just ready to just, we support you. As Nick he knows. It's great place to be in. Great place to be in. Bo Nix is a direct threat to that. The Denver Broncos are a direct threat to the idea that we could just hop on TV, hop on YouTube, whatever and just keep saying Chiefs, 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 Kansas City Chiefs. Have you seen a better team than the Chiefs? The Chiefs, Mahomes, Andy Chiefs, Mahomes, Kelsey, Taylor Swift. Oh boy, we still want that Taylor Swift energy. Come on, baby. Come on, Chiefs. We got to milk this out. Oh, Kelsey. You're not really even you're a shell of yourself. Doesn't matter, baby. Come on, Taylor, Kelsey, Taylor, Kelsey. Your mom's amazing. Come on, buddy. Come on, we love it. We need it. We need it. And Bo Nix is a direct threat to that. Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos are like the antithesis to that. They're the kryptonite to all of that. I'm telling you right now the NFL world was not hoping for the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix to be in the AFC Championship game. They wanted the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and Taylor Swift and Kelsey. That's what they really, really want. What do you think they wanted? Bo Nix versus Drake May or Patrick Mahomes versus Drake May? What did you think? That they want, Walmart in the box or Taylor Swift in the box. Clapping and smiling and holding her hands next to Kelsey's mom. Like what do you think they would really want to be able to show on TV? What do you think they really want to talk about on Monday? Woo, did you see that? Did you see that play by Patrick Mahomes? Oh, we know Taylor loved that catch by Kelsey. Who do you think they would want in the Super Bowl? Not the Denver Broncos. Not the Denver Broncos. So, I think there is a lot of that as well. And it's crazy to me. And to my surprise, the Denver Broncos fan base is technically not as massive as say like the Bears or Commanders or like which I didn't really again, I've told you guys this a billion times like To me the Broncos have always been NFL football royalty to me. So, I just assumed that it was just like, oh, they have to have like an absolute massive fan base. And it's like, no, and that's why you saw like they want Chicago to be great. They want Washington to be great because it's just like if you have greatness there, it just multiplies. It's just so much larger. And like I didn't realize. I was like, what? Like I didn't think that the Broncos were considered a more medium market I guess cause they're not small market but like a little bit more medium size of things. Which again, I didn't realize at all. Maybe because I'd been on the Broncos from the very beginning with Bo, that just from the jump I was able to get such great energy with the Broncos fan base like from the jump like I never had to come on, Broncos. Like subscribe and what like I didn't really ever have to push that too hard right off the jump and probably because again, yeah, I don't know. It was never an issue to me. And so I just assume like, oh yeah, the Broncos, they're a massive fan base. And it's like, oh no, they're not. And that's why they're not as discussed as it's again, there's a billion more Caleb Williams takes on mainstream than there are Bo Nix. And it's like not even close. I said this especially in 2024, especially with Jaden. And Jaden and Bo Nix combined, there was more takes on Caleb Williams about what was going wrong rather than what was going right for Jaden and Bo. Like that's the power of the media. That's the power of a massive fan base of Chicago and media markets and ratings and all of that type of stuff. And that's also like the kind of you're a little bit of a threat to what we know, to what we've been doing for the last 4, 5, 6 years. And yeah, I mean, 'cause listen, I even feel it myself, where it's just what does it look like if I have to really start to know deeply who the Arizona Cardinals are? Right? They get the next, big player. And now everyone has to say, okay, we now have to learn all about the intricacies of the Arizona Cardinals. It's I don't want to do that. That's work. That's extra games I have to watch, an extra quarterback that I have to figure out. I don't want to do that. Can it just be Patrick Mahomes every year? So much easier. So much easier just to get out there and just say, well, we can't count out Patrick Mahomes. Well, we know Andy and Spags are going to be cooking up something special. This is what Patrick Mahomes does. It's such an easier take in the Super Bowl 2024. It is such an easier take to be Patrick Mahomes, greatest quarterback ever. Kansas City Chiefs dynasty. Then the Eagles beat them and they're Mahomes? Jalen Hurts was the MVP. The quarterback who we said was bad all year long and the quarterback that we said is the GOAT got humiliated. So much harder. You just go back. I've been meaning to do this for a while. Go back to that halftime show. During the Super Bowl. They were short-circuiting. They didn't know what to say. They didn't know what to do. Because the whole Super Bowl was built up around the Chiefs three-peating. That they were how did the Chiefs get back into this game? They couldn't understand it. They were it was Howie. It was just they were yo, Strahan. It was but Mahomes, the Eagles. I'm going to go back and do that probably later today now 'cause it was just I just remember seeing it and when I walked away, I was this is such nonsense. What are we talking about here? And it's that's all about the reason why I'm going on this rant because it's all part of it. And a lot of it is not even intentional. A lot of it is not intentional. It's just I think it just naturally happens. And that's why for me personally, I took that stand right off the bat where I'm no, I can believe in Jaden Daniels and the Philadelphia Eagles at the same time. That can exist. Even though I know if I'm making an Eagles video and I throw, a little troll dig at the Commanders. That earns me extra points. That's brownie points. Nah, I'm going to do that. That's inauthentic to me and uninteresting to me. Unless it's real in that moment. If it is real, then for sure. But you can see it and I do think that's a really big part of it. I really, really do. But yeah, there's still plenty to love about Bo. There's still plenty to grow. And yeah, I don't think you want to just pick up exactly where you left off 'cause there's still plenty of growth there. And that's been my whole my whole the foundation of of how I'm viewing the Broncos, which is just from my viewpoint Bo Nix has to be better. In terms of he's not has to as he better be better, but he has to be better as in I don't see any other option. He has to be he will be a better quarterback. And it's just therefore this Broncos team is going to be awesome. I don't see another path forward. I don't see that. So, and again, that's why I feel very strongly about the Chargers as well and the decisions that they've made. I don't see how they're not better. So, that's what makes this division actually finally fun again. These games were not really fun to watch. There was never really anything at stake. Even if you're oh, yeah, we beat the Chiefs with Russell Wilson. It's great. You're not going to win a Super Bowl. You're not going to win a playoff game. You're not even going to make the playoffs. It doesn't matter. Now the stakes are, we can get the number 1 seed and home field advantage and get a first-round bye. Yeah, I'd say the stakes are pretty gigantic. But people want to downplay that just for the sake of picking a side. And that's you're taking away from your enjoyment. You're taking away from your excitement. That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But even if look at something like this, and I'll end here, because we can look at the wins. We're yeah, but Bo Nix more consistent team or something like that. The Commanders were a bit of a mess. They got injured. Caleb was a mess in 24. Patriots were a mess in 24. And it's okay, so then you have to then also concede that the Broncos have been better run and have more consistency, more continuity. So, either way you have to concede something positive about the Denver Broncos. And if you're so willing to praise team like the Patriots or Drake May or Caleb and the Bears, if you're following logic, you have to offer similar praises to Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. But, those are just my thoughts. I absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think Bo needs just better PR right now? Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.